Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc. So today we're going over what are the best new decks, as well as a few honorable mentions for BT14. We got a ton of new stuff to work with for this new format. Really excited for it. Tons of new decks I'm just absolutely ecstatic for. It feels like it's been forever since we just had something new to latch on to, and I think this is going to be a great one. Also, don't forget to check out our Etsy page, link in the description below. We have tons of Digimon merch there, from magnets to keychains to memory markers, just all kinds of great stuff there. So if you haven't been on there in a while, definitely go check it out. There's some cool stuff there. Alright, so I've got BT14 pulled up here on DigimonCard.dev. Just a great place to just view everything all at once here. So we're just going to do this kind of in no particular order. We are going to do the new stuff first, and then we'll do the honorable mentions at the end. Yes, there are several of them. So let's get started here. So for red, right off the bat, there's no new solid deck. There is definitely some support in here for some existing stuff. But for blue though, blue finally gets a new version to play a Gomamon centric deck. So Ikakumon, Zudomon, all of it. Really excited for this stuff. Actually, I think there is definitely something here. So this is all about source stripping. This goes from the baby all the way up, in fact. So yeah, first let's just take a look at the baby. That'll kind of give us an idea of where we're going here. Your turn, while your opponent has no Digimon with equal or more Digivolution cards than this card, this Digimon gains jamming. So that's super huge, giving whoever Evo's on top of this guy jamming as long as there's less sources than the Digimon. So you can expect right off the bat, we're probably going to see a lot of source stripping, and indeed right off the bat, the Gomamon first card you're going to want to Evo, start of your main phase. So this is right after you promote it at a raising area. Choose one Digivolution card under one of your opponent's Digimon and trash it. This Digimon can't be blocked for the turn. So that in conjunction with the Bukamon, so he's going to basically have jamming and be unblockable. Like, man, Vmon wishes he was this good. Also, it specifically says choose one Digivolution card under. So you get to pick what you want to discard underneath. So it's not the bottom source, the top source. You get to pick. So if there's like a super problematic inheritable, like right in the middle of everything, trash that one. Metal or a Greymon X antibody giving that option protection. That's a great one to snipe out from underneath them. So really good stuff. And then when you Digivolve on top of this guy, opponent's turn, when this Digimon would be deleted, you may play one Gomamon from under this Digimon's Digivolution cards without paying the cost. So he just plays himself right back as soon as whoever Digivolved on top of him gets deleted. So just always having this Gomamon, basically he can recycle himself over and over and over as long as this inheritable is online. That seems stupid strong to me, honestly. Just like, I will always have a Digimon. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just kind of how that feels. Granted, it's an inheritable, so he's got to be Digivolved on top of to get it. Jumping right up here, the Ikakumon here, really cool card, honestly. It's been forever since we had an Ikakumon that was actually very playable. So when Digivolving, choose two Digivolution cards under your opponent's Digimon and trash them. This is also great because it gets around cards like X Antibody that can't be trashed. So that's super crucial that you can just pick any two. When attacking, once per turn, one of your opponent's Digimon with a number of Digivolution cards less than or equal to this Digimon's Digivolution cards can't attack until the end of your opponent's turn. I wish it was can't attack or block, but I guess the idea is you promote up the Gomamon. Gomamon makes himself unblockable, immediately Digivolve into the Ikakumon, so he still has that ability that he can't be blocked, and then you combine that with the next bit where one of the Digimons can't attack. So pretty solid stuff there, no complaints. Nice stun card, and we're still just trashing sources like mad. When attacking, once per turn, inheritable here, one of your opponent's Digimon with a number of Digivolution cards less than or equal to this Digimon's Digivolution cards can't attack until the end of your opponent's next turn. So exactly the same effect there, but in the inheritable. So even if you Digivolve on top of it, you still get to keep your stunning ability so you can keep reusing Next up, we got the Zudomon Ace here. So he does have, if you're not familiar with the Ace cards, they have the hand counter blast. So when your opponent attacks with the Digimon, you can Digivolve into this guy on top of one of your level 4s for 0 memory in the middle of your opponent's turn. Super strong there. So then on play or when Digivolving, trash 2 Digivolution cards from under your opponent's Digimon. Then return one of your opponent's Digimon with no Digivolution cards to the hand. Very, very strong effect there. So again, in total, we've trashed with him and the other 2, we're trashed 5 sources so far. There's a good chance that you could just return whatever you want. There's a very, very good chance that your opponent's Digimon doesn't have any sources anymore. Even if it's a mega, it's probably out of sources, and then Zudomon Ace just gets to literally for 0 memory bounce it to hand. Like, oh my gosh, that feels so strong. Crazy good card here. Also 4 play cost, not bad at all. Super solid card, absolutely. You can Digivolve this, to pass turn, or you can just hard play this next to your Ikakumon and then leave your Ikakumon open for a second Zudomon Ace. It's only 1 memory more. Yeah, I think that's absolutely fine. Now, if you're not familiar with the Ace, I'm just going to explain it once here. Overflow -3. It says when this card is sent from the battle area or under your card to other places, lose 3 memory. Okay, so specifically this card. So if you say you Digiburst it away, or your opponent trashes your sources, whether it's Gomamon, and they send this Zudomon Ace to the trash. Say they hit the stack with the Kakaitis breath. It doesn't matter if the Zudo Ace is on top or he's in the sources. It's either going to go to trash or the Zudomon Ace is going to go to hand, security, deck, wherever. You're going to lose a 3 memory, no matter what. Doesn't matter if it's a source. It doesn't matter if it gets de-digivolved and it trashes this Zudomon, and this Zudomon, de-digivolves and it goes to the trash. The card left the battle area. Okay. Now, the one thing that I've seen that gets around this is if, say, they use like an Arashidramon Superior mode and they send the Zudomon himself and source it underneath a Tamer. Technically, it's still in the battle area because his Tamers go in the battle area. So that's the only way I've seen that overflow will not trigger. Now, if that Tamer gets deleted or the source gets removed from underneath the Tamer and the Zudomon goes away, then it will trigger. So it's just kind of a temporary, like, okay, I don't have to worry about Zudomon Ace at the moment. So still stupid strong card either way. And then they actually gave us a mega here. Now, I was surprised they didn't go with the rest of the Evo chain. I'm surprised they switched it and went for the Plesiomon route. But either way, it's still a great card, even if it's not Vikemon. 3 Evo cost, 11,000 DP. Pretty normal stuff here. When Digivolving, trash 3 Digivolution cards from under your opponent's Digimon. Wow. Okay. And that's just wild. So by this effect, it just says trash 3 Digivolution cards from under your opponent's Digimon. So you could trash 1 source from 3 different Digimon, or you could trash 2 in 1, or just all 3. The flexibility of that sentence is very, very astounding because it doesn't say from under 1 of your opponent's Digimon like they normally have in the past. Very, very flexible ability there. And then when attacking once per turn, if your opponent does not have a Digimon card with equal or more Digivolution cards, then this Digimon in play, unsuspend this Digimon. So pretty consistently will always be attacking twice. Possibly with jamming, like kind of, that could happen pretty, relatively easily. Unblockable, not so much. By the time you get all the way up in the Plesiomon, it's probably past turn since you've used this Gomamon. But still, attack twice. All these abilities, we're trashing more. We're stunning cards here. Dogs and cats living together. Just super cool deck. Very, very happy for it. Moving on to yellow here, we actually have just a solid, dedicated Angemon deck. We've had cards in the past that were sort of, good Angemon deck stuff, but it didn't really feel like a true Angemon deck. It was more like here's a generic yellow card that could work in Angel decks. Besides Mastamon, I think this is really the first solid, like without a doubt, you want to run your Angel cards in this deck. Like it all just fits so perfectly together. First up is the Patamon. Start of your main phase, look at your security stack. Just that alone is incredibly good. I get a free peek at my security stack. Even if I don't do anything else, I got to see my security stack for free. As a yellow player, I love that. Like, getting that knowledge is incredibly good. This Digimon may Digivolve into a yellow Digimon card with vaccine trait among them without paying the cost. That's huge. Just being able to Digivolve for free anytime is always a super powerful effect. So that's really great. Then shuffle your security stack. If Digivolved with this effect, you may place one yellow card with vaccine trait from your hand at the bottom of your security stack. So it goes to the bottom. So say you need a setup. You Digivolved into your level 4. Well, I need a level 5 next, or a level 6, for further down the road, because they have an option card that has basically the same effect here. So you want to stack whatever you need next, whatever's not in that security stack. And it's nice because it goes to the bottom, so you don't have to worry about your opponent like immediately clearing it and like you lose out. Because if it went to the top, it could be pretty easy for your opponent to just swing into it and clear it. They know what it is. So going to the bottom is actually very cool that they thought that through. Super strong here. And then inheritable, perfect yellow ability, your turn, once per turn. When a card is added to your security stack, gain 1. With a lot of the cards that we're going to be looking at, it's going to be, you're digivolving out of your security and then recovering or putting a card back. So you'll be triggering this ability a whole lot. Now, I do want to just kind of jump ahead just a little bit here. You'll notice there's no level 4 up here because it is the secret rare for this, but I actually want to look at TK here. On play, by adding the top card of your security stack to your hand, you may place one yellow card with vaccine trait from your hand at the bottom of your security stack. So that is great. That is perfect, because basically your starting play will always be Evo Patamon in Raising Area, hard play TK to pass turn, and then you're going to be set up for the following turn. So you're going to guarantee that you're going to have that level 4 for Patamon to go into. That's great. And then your turn, when a card is added to your security stack by suspending this Tamer, gain 1 memory. So he's essentially a 2 play cost. Initially, you're going to hard play him and then put something in and suspend him, and boom, he was a 2 play cost like right out the gate and not 3. That's strong. And then every of your turns after that, because we're going to be doing a lot of that, pulling out a security, putting one back or recovering, whichever, you're going to be gaining that memory back. So it essentially is crazy good. That Patamon that evos for free, well, he actually now evos for +1 memory, if you want to think about it like that. Crazy strong. And then next up is Messenger of Hope. After you've evoed into your level 4, then the idea, with the Patamon, you put your next vaccine in there. Then you're going to play the Messenger of Hope. Look at your security stack. Again, even if you haven't done that other stuff, just playing this card for 1 memory, I get to look at my security stack, feels pretty strong. Hey, I need a pass turn. I'm just going to Messenger of Hope and not use the rest of the effect. I just want to see what's in my security. Yeah, go for it. But one of your Digimon may Digivolve into a level 6 or lower yellow Digimon card with the vaccine trait among them without paying the cost. So again, just like that Patamon, get an Evo for free. It's just a 1 cost on the option here. Then shuffle your security stack. If your Digimon Digivolved with this effect and you have a TK in its name, recovery +1. So if you have that TK, you Evo for free into the level 4, play Messenger of Hope to Evo into the level 5 for free, suspend your TK to basically make this Messenger of Hope 0 memory. You've literally gone from a rookie into a level 5 for 0 memory at this point. Super good. If you say you had another Messenger of Hope in hand and you knew that you had the level 6, you could then Messenger of Hope again and go right into your level 6 if you wanted. great stuff. Now let's look at the level 4 though. This is your, your ideal target that you typically want to go into for your Patamon. When attacking, by deleting this Digimon, activate one of the following effects. Place one of your opponent's Digimon with a virus trait at the bottom of their security stack. There's a good amount of viruses in this game. It's actually a surprising amount. Or you can do one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 5,000 DP for the turn. So a nice little generic ability. Now, sacrificing your level 4 for like minus 5k, that doesn't feel all that great, but in certain situations, you could be in a desperate situation and that could be great. Depending on the virus that's on the field, sacrificing your level 4 to clear out, a Mega or a level 7 virus type, that could definitely be worth it, I feel like. But then, on deletion, place this card at the bottom of your security stack. Then, if you have a tamer, you may hatch a Digi-Egg in your breeding area. So promote up your Patamon, go into your Angemon for free from your security, swing, he pops himself, deals with threat on board, and then he goes right back into your security, and you hatch. So then essentially you can set up the same play again next turn. You go Patamon in raising area again, or a different rookie, and you have the Messenger of Hope in hand. It's the same basic combo there. You can promote up, Evo into this Angemon out of your security because he puts himself there. So great. I like the reusability of this guy just over and over and over. And then inheritable here, on deletion, place one yellow card with vaccine trait from your hand at the bottom of your security stack. So say you don't need to use his when attacking delete himself ability here. You can then, Evo on top of him, and just go back into your combos. But then say the Digimon dies, it gets deleted. He's going to help you set up again for a new stack. So you're going to take something and throw it into your security, so that way you can guarantee, another Messenger of Hope or Patamon play. So really great to just keep the deck going and going and going. And bouncing back. Bouncing back is huge in this game. Losing your Evo stack, your Mega that you put a lot of resources into, and it just gets deleted, and you're like, great, now my opponent is going to be several steps ahead of me, and I've got to rebuild. But he's really good at helping you rebuild rapidly. So big fan of that. Going back up here, looking at the rest of the Evo chain. Yeah, this is crazy. So much support for this deck. We have the new Magnamon Ace. Most people are familiar with it here. Again, has the same Blast Digivolve counter as the Zudomon that we already talked about. So it can Evo for free during your opponent's turn, on play, or when digivolving. If you have 5 or fewer security cards, recovery 1. And then one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 1,000 DP for each card in your security stack for the turn. So Evo, get recovery +1 and then minus 6k on something. This is a great just starting card. I'm going to slam this guy down for 4, recover 1, and immediately killed whatever my opponent played on their turn 1. So going second, this is like a incredible card. Literally, you can throw this card at a 4 of into any deck in the game. Doesn't matter what the color is, and you will see value out of this. I think this card is going to be a staple in a ton of decks moving forward. Just absolutely insane. Just like the old Magna Angemon, if you want to view it like that, 4 memory, and then when it dies or whatever the case is, however it leaves the field, 3 more memory, it's still just 7 memory, which is the same cost of the original Magna Angemon to recover. But then this one also does the DP minus, so really, really strong card. And then just to finish us off here, we have a really cool Seraphimon. I really just love this Seraphimon. We've had a lot of great Seraphimons in the past. The recover one, that when it dies, you recover again. So one Seraphimon gets you 2 recoveries. But this one is when digivolving, recover 1. Cool. 4 Evo. Pretty standard for a Mega that gives you recovery. All turns, once per turn, when a card is added to your security stack, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 7,000 DP for the turn. Gets minus 7,000 DP, and this Digimon gets security attack +1 for the turn. So very similar to the original BT1 Seraphi. We're going to recover. We're going to get security attack. +1. Now, usually that was only for that first turn, or it was like if you were over a certain threshold, but his DP was, I think, only 11,000. Is relatively low, so this one's even more strong than that. But the fact that it's all turns, every time that happens, you can minus 7,000 DP. That's the real kicker here, is you can repeatedly, every single turn, yours or your opponent's, give them minus 7,000 DP. And you've seen how much we are going into security, pulling stuff out and putting something back in. It's technically not a recover, but it's still a card is going into security. So boom, you're triggering this. Just so great. Such a great card here. Great board control with it. It really fits the style of the deck a whole ton. So when you're building up a second stack and you're doing lots of that swapping out of your security and he's sitting on field, you're just like, boom, minus 7k. It's like opponent's turn, opponent attacks, blast Digivolve Magna Angemon. Magna Angemon's going to DP minus them, and my Seraphimon's going to DP minus them. Just really, really nutty combos there. But that is it for yellow. Yellow, that was the main new deck that they're getting here. And clearly, very, very strong. Green, nothing new here. We do again have some support, which we'll come back to. Looking at black here as well, nothing super new here. Again, some support for an existing one, which we'll come back to. There is some talk about some other stuff, like the Numemon like becoming its own deck finally and not just fitting in with other stuff. It does still fit in with other stuff, but it's almost standing on its own. I can't say two legs, but it's standing on its own snot bubble as becoming its own deck eventually. So that's pretty exciting. Jumping down here into purple as well. Purple does have a new deck, and this is one that lots of fans are super excited about. Like, purple always has some of the most interesting and complicated decks in this entire game. I think the floor for being a purple player is significantly higher than any other color in this game. It takes more initial skill as well as a higher ceiling for sure. Higher floor and higher ceiling on level of play to play a purple deck. That's just how it is. You need pretty good experience with the game in general, I think, before you can pick up some of these purple decks. So we got the new Lugomon. This is from Digimon Seekers, which is like the current iteration that Digimon's going through right now, and it's the online novel series. So Lugomon here, you see the thing on the forehead. I'm telling you, something's coming later down the chute with him. Ryudomon and Dorimon, the three of them, X-Antibodies. I'm really excited to see all three of them in a deck and what they're going to do with it. But for right now, Dark Animal is the theme here. So start of your main phase by placing one AG from your hand or trash under this Digimon as its bottom Digivolution card. Gain one memory. So that's really cool because that just gets an AG into play for free. And just to clarify, AG has an effect that lets him remove himself from being under a source and just go back to being a tamer. So he can go back and forth from tamer to inheritable, tamer to inheritable. So just getting an AG in rotation for 0 memory, that's super good for the deck. It really, really likes to see that. Inheritable here, your turn once per turn. When your card with Dark Animal or Sock trait is played, gain 1 memory. So when you play Dark Animal, you can gain a memory here. This Fangmon actually can go as well because he is a Dark Animal and he has an on play or when attacking effect. Return 1 purple Digimon card with the Dark Animal trait from your trash to your hand, then trash 1 card in your hand. So if you need to get a Dark Animal back that you need to recycle, such as like Lugomon here, who is a Dark Animal, as well as his Evo chain, you need to recycle something back. This Fangmon is really nice little addition for the deck here. But Lugarmon here is the level 4 for Lugomon. When attacking by trashing 1 card from your hand, draw 1. If AG is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, gain 1 memory. So that's super cool. So you just gain memory and you cycle through your hand. You're going to trash a card, draw 1. That's really great. Again, you use Lugomon to put an AG in your source for free. So you're going to gain a memory off that as well. So 2 Evo here. It still needs to be your turn because you have to attack with this guy and then do that to get that memory back. Your turn once per turn. When your card with Dark Animal or Stock Trait is played, gain 1 memory. Same as Lugamon. So now we're up to 2 memory. Not too bad there. Jumping up here into level 5 here, we got the Hellugarmon. So end of your turn, delete this Digimon and draw 2. Then you may return 1 Lugamon from your trash to your hand. On deletion, you may trash up to 3 cards with Dark Animal or Stock Trait in your hand. Then delete one of your opponent's level 3 or lower Digimon. For each card trashed by this effect, add 1 to the maximum level of the Digimon you choose by this effect. So you can essentially delete up to a level 6 Digimon with this. That's a pretty big deal. So you're going to delete your level 5, draw 2. Then you can add the Lugamon that's in the probably in the sources here back to your hand to basically restart this whole stack over. And then you can pop something, but you have to trash 3 cards in hand. Not the best. I'm not overly excited for this one, but we have Soul Lugarmon as well. His effect, when digivolving, you may play 1 level 3 or lower card with Dark Animal or Stock Trait from your trash without paying the cost. So all that like hand cycling we were doing, the drawing and the trashing there, we basically get to set up the play we want for this card. So level 3 or lower card with Dark Animal or Stock Trait without paying the cost. If Agi is in this Digimon's digital cards, add 1 to the maximum level of the card you can choose with this effect. One of the best targets in the game, and it's actually a very super expensive pre-release card right now because of this Soul Lugarmon, and that is the Black Gatomon that has Rush. So you just play the Black Gatomon out with Rush, so really great stuff there. So immediately attack with it. Really aggressive strategies. When attacking, by trashing 1 card in your hand, gain 1 memory. So just nice little effect there. Now again, this is a when attacking, so you have to keep it on your turn first. But I like this one so much more than the Hell. The Soul definitely feels really good. Your turn once per turn. When your card with Dark Animal or Stock Trait is played, you may unsuspend this Digimon. So again, when digivolving here, you can play that out with the 2 inheritables you have here. You're going to gain 2 memory, so essentially making this guy a 1 Evo cost Digimon here. For the baby, he does have a baby here. Your turn, when a Digimon card with Dark Animal or Stock Trait is trashed from your hand, this Digimon may digivolve into that card. So yeah, pretty interesting that you could just do that. Yeah, so this one here, when attacking, by trashing 1 card in your hand, draw 1. If Agi's there, you gain a memory. So you attack with the Lugarmon, because only 6,000 DP isn't too great there. But then you trash the Soul, and then the Soul uses his effect, immediately plays out another Dark Animal, and boom, you gain 2 memory there. So 1 Evo cost, mid-attack, pretty solid stuff. And then just finishing it off here with the Fenrir Lugamon, we have a 4 Evo cost. When digivolving, you may play 1 level 4 or lower card with the Dark Animal or Stock Trait from your trash without paying the cost. If Agi is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, add 2 to the maximum number of Digimon you can play with this effect. So that's so crazy. So you can basically play out 3 level 4s when you digivolve into this guy. When attacking once per turn, by deleting one of your opponent's level 3 or lower Digimon, unsuspend this Digimon. For each of your Digimon, add 1 to the maximum level of the Digimon you can choose with this effect. Busted, right? So you digivolve into this guy, boom, you play out 3 Digimon, and then immediately when attacking, delete one of your opponent's Digimon level 3 or lower, unsuspend this Digimon. For each of your Digimon, add 1 to the max level. So like this gets out of control. And it says for each of your Digimon, so he can include himself. It doesn't say each other. So it's essentially immediately when attacking, it's the level 4 or lower, and then you just add up. You only need 3 more Digimon in play, and boom, he literally plays 3 Digimon off of his effect here. So you can immediately delete something. Your turn. The condition. Oh my gosh, that's tiny. your turn, the condition to end your turn becomes your opponent having 3 or more memory. So he does so much here, but because he's such a crazy cost here, it can be a little difficult to get into him and keep it on your turn. But literally, you can go all the way from Lugamon up into Fenrir Lugamon in one turn. So promote up, he's going to source AG. You're going to Evo into your Lugarmon for 2 memory. When attacking, you're going to trash the Soul Lugarmon here and gain a memory. So say you were at 2, you evoed here for go to 0. Now you're back up to 1. Then you're going to go into the Soul Lugarmon. He's going to use his shenanigans here. Using your inheritables, you're going to gain 2. So making him a 1 cost. So now you're at 0 memory. Okay. And so then you're going to do all your crazy stuff. And then when attacking, trashing 1 card in your hand, gain 1 memory. Now you're back up to 1 again. Hopefully you're keeping up with this. So you started your turn at 2, and you're all the way up into your level 5, and you're at 1 memory. So it's only cost you 1 memory so far, but you didn't need the wiggle room of going down to 0 with the Lugarmon. And then you're going to Evo into the Fenrir Lugamon, and he's 4 Evo costs, so that's going to put you over here, putting your opponent to 3 memory, which will pass the turn. Now, if you had a memory fixer, your opponent will be at 2 memory. If you started your turn at 3 memory with a memory fixer, by the time you go up into Fenrir Lugamon, it is still your turn. Like, you've done all this, and your opponent's at 2 memory, but it's still your turn because of this effect. So, keep in mind, again, we attacked. Soul Lugarmon has to survive, okay? Because you're going to swing with the Lugarmon, Evo into the Soul mid-attack. He survives. You Evo on top, you get this ability. When your card with Dark Animal or Sock is played, you may unsuspend this Digimon. So, again, you go into the Fenrir here. He's going to play out a bunch of stuff. He's going to unsuspend because of the Soul Lugarmon. Then he's going to attack. Okay, so this is attack number 2. By deleting one of your opponent's level 3 or lower Digimon, unsuspend this Digimon. And then you can increase the level like we already talked about. So then he unsuspends. And then you attack a 3rd time with Fenrir Lugamon. So it's 3 attacks, as well as you have played out a total of 4 free Digimon. 3 attacks. You've played out 4 Digimon from your trash for free, and it's still your turn. You started at 3, and your opponent's now at 2, and it's still your turn. You've done all of that. How crazy is that? Is that not just like one of the most insane, awesome, like whole lines you've ever seen in this game? Just feels so strong. And then making one of those, or shoot, if you made all of them the Black Gatomon, and they all had rush and they attack, I mean, that's 4 more attacks in addition to the 3. That's 7 attacks in total, and it's still your turn. Turn 1. Or, well, your turn 2, I guess, right? Because you Evo Lugamon here, and then probably play a memory fixer to pass turn. So your second turn here, you literally OTK'd your opponent turn 2. Now, granted, you need all these cards and stuff like that, but still the potential is there. And you're playing all these at a 4 of to increase your chances of seeing them all. Pretty solid stuff here. Drawing and trashing, things like that. Now, AG's effect here. So security plays himself for free. Start of your main phase. If you have a Digimon, gain 1, or if your opponent has a Digimon, gain 1 memory. So if you didn't have the memory fixer, say you played this AG to pass turn, your opponent put out a Digimon, they put you to 2 memory to pass turn, then you promote up your Lugamon, you're going to gain that, you're going to go to 3, you can still do the combo. Main mind link to one of your Digimon with the Dark Animal or Sock trait. So you just slide him under as an inheritable here underneath that Lugamon, underneath the baby, of course. So then you do your whole combo. So it's the same thing as if you had used this and just played the AG for free. But if you didn't have the memory setter, you just hard play this to help get you that extra 1 memory to set up your plays here. So really strong, solid card here. And then all turns, while this Digimon has Dark Animal or Sock trait, this Digimon gains Alliance and Blocker. Alliance, guys. So we attacked once with the Soul Lugamon, okay? He's going to play out something off of his effect. You could alliance there, or you can do it with the Fenrir Lugomon. When he attacks, you can alliance that. Like this, you realize how much this ramps up with alliance. We went from 7 individual attacks because assuming the other 4 had rush, but to say those didn't have rush, they only 1 had rush. If you're going to alliance, that's just going to ramp up what you can do. So 1 check off Soul Lugomon, and then you're going to get 4 checks off the Fenrir Lugomon here. So he's going to swing that first time and get that security attack +1. He's going to unsuspend with his own effect. He's going to swing again. He's still got that security attack +1, so he's checking 2 more, and then you're going to swing with Black Gatomon for game. That's it. Like, turn 2. Multiple ways to get game on turn 2 with this deck. End of all turns, you may play AG from this Digimon's Digivision cards without paying the cost. He has blocker here, but if you don't have the reboot, it kind of doesn't help as much. But if you're going to Evo into Fenrir Lugomon and you can't keep it on your turn, then you might keep the AG underneath, potentially. So if he's unsuspended after you Evo into him, keeping the AG underneath so he's a blocker, probably not a bad idea. Really fantastic stuff here. Some really cool, powerful new decks. Now, we will just take a couple minutes here, another long video, and just talk about our just couple decks here that are just getting great support here. Greymon, of course, getting a new Agumon that's absolutely busted. Start of your main phase. If you have a Tamer with Tai in its name, this Digimon can Digivolve into a Greymon from your hand without paying the cost. Again, another free Evo Digimon here. Rookie getting to Digivolve for free into the level 4. So good. If you combine this with the Greymon that when Digivolving you gain 1 memory, literally you just Evo into level 4 and you +1 memory. So same thing that we saw with the Angel deck and TK. Basically, this is what's going on here. So that's really great support for Greymon decks. Coming down here for Green. Green's got some great stuff here. New Palmon. This is great for multiple decks here. Start of your main phase. One of your opponent's Digimon gains all turns. When this Digimon becomes suspended, lose 2 memory until the end of your opponent's turn. So if you're playing something like Bloomlord, Hydramon, that sort of stuff, you give your opponent, so you promote this Palmon up and give their opponent that effect. And then when you suspend it, you're going to gain memory in the middle of your turn because you're doing so much stuff that suspends your opponent's Digimon with Bloom and Hydramon. So that's a great ability there. That deck loves it. And then your turn, once per turn, when this Digimon would Digivolve, if you have a green Tamer in play, reduce the cost by 1. What's not to love? For the Rosemon players out there, this is a great addition to the deck. They're really going to enjoy this, having something else like Lalamon. That Inheritable is so clutch for the strategy, for the deck strategy. They're really liking it. Togemon here as well, a great new card here. Your turn, once per turn, when you would play a green Tamer from your hand by suspending one of your Digimon, reduce the cost by 3, so you can get your Mimis into play here for free, which is really strong. And then your turn, when this Digimon would Digivolve, if you have a green Tamer, reduce the cost by 1. Again, just like in the previous Rosemon decks, they're really going to love this because it's just another way to do the same stuff they've been doing. The Lilymon, not so great for the deck, but it is here as well, part of this strategy here. It's just suspending stuff, and it's a 5k or less. You can put it to the bottom of the owner's deck. It's okay, but I wouldn't say it helps any of the established strategies. But the Rosemon here is great for the Rosemon Burst Mode deck because there wasn't another second. They had the one Rosemon from that set, but all the other Rosemons that have ever come out did not work with the strategy at all. So this one will be a great addition here because when Digivolving and when attacking, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Your turn, once per turn, when a Digimon or Tamer becomes suspended by an effect, you may unsuspend this. So you Digivolve and then she unsuspends herself because she's going to suspend something. Why this is so important is because the level 5 what's her name? I forgot. She plays out the Yoshino Tamer for free, but she has to basically suspend herself to do it. Or she Digivolves, but the level 4 lets you Digivolve for free into her. So basically your level 5 is going to be suspended, and they're going to evo into this Rosemon, and she's going to unsuspend herself. And because of all these inheritables that you have here, the idea is that you're going to evo for 1 or for 0 into the Rosemon, using the Yoshino and then the 2 inheritables. So making this Rosemon a 0 evo, and then you go into burst mode by bouncing the Yoshino back to hand, and then boom, you go into burst mode. So that is the general idea there. So just some great new additions for that Rosemon deck. Really loving it. Like a lot. My wife plays this deck, and she's probably done the best with this deck out of any deck she's ever played. So it's going to be nice to have more support that really works with the deck a whole lot. The next one here, I believe this is the last one as well that we're going to talk about. Video's almost over, guys. If you're still here somehow, some way, Commandramon, just absolutely insane now. A whole new Evo line, a whole new strategy and way to play the deck. We've seen it try to do stuff like this before, where you want to evo all the way up into the Mega. It tried this in the past. It didn't really take off all that well. People still just like to play the Rookie Rush version, but I think this is going to be the time that it's finally going to change into a more standardized deck that evos all the way up into a Mega, is with these cards. Because they are that good. They are that worth going all the way up into your Mega. So we have a searcher now. So you just play it and you get to search a D Brigade or Digipolice, reveal 5. That's great. Inheritable here is protection. So before you go up into your Mega, and your Mega is very vulnerable. Now we have a way to protect it with this inheritable, as well as the High Commandramon has the same inheritable. When this Digimon would leave the battle area other than by your effect. So your opponent deletes it, they try to put it in your hand, deck, security, whatever, when it leaves the battle area other than by your effect, delete one of your other Digimon with D Brigade and trait, prevent it from leaving play. So it's like Decoy, but even better, like even more powerful than Decoy. And the High Commandramon has the same effect, but he has a when attacking here, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may play 1 card with D Brigade or Digipolice in the trait with a play cost of 3 or less among them without paying the cost. So very Commandramon effect here. We're revealing 3. We're playing out a Commandramon for free. That's the general idea of that. So really great card. And then level 5 here that we have is Cargodramon here. On play or when digivolving, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may play 1 card with the D Brigade or Digipolice trait with a play cost of 4 or less among them without paying the cost. Trash the rest. It says card, so if you have you reveal a tamer that you want to play, you reveal an option card that you want to play. This Cargodramon is great. One of the option cards, which we'll talk about in just a second, you need stuff in trash to get its more powerful effect. So the fact that this trashes is actually super crucial to that option card. And the fact that it says 4 or less, that option card is 4. And the fact that it's just a card and it's not restricted to only Digimon, it's super, super like intense on I'm going to support using this option card a whole bunch. So I really like that. Inheritable all turns once per turn. When one of your other Digimon is deleted, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may play 1 Commandramon among them without paying the cost. Trash the rest. High Commandramon counts as a Commandramon. So if you reveal a High Commandramon level 4, you get to play it out for free off of this. When one of your other Digimon is deleted, all turns, yours or your opponent's. That's super good. So we're just like cycling out. We don't have to rely on just that old original Commandramon, his on deletion reveal 3 play out of Commandramon. Now we have this baked into an inheritable that works for all of our Digimon now. So very, very great effect. Let's jump down here and talk about that option card right quick. So we got DCD Bomb has the D Brigade trait right there. 4 play cost. Digivolve 1 of your opponent's Digimon. Then, by returning 3 cards with D Brigade Digipolice trait from your trash to the top of your deck, delete your opponent's Digimon up to a maximum of play cost of 6. So that's just really, really fantastic. So we're going to de-digivolve 1 and then delete a Digimon up to a play cost of 6 here. So nice little cheap card here to take care of a threat. Even just de-digivolve some, like a big, huge threat, and then, pop a rookie or something like that, or pop a level 4. I like the versatility of this card. Again, you don't have to limit it at all here. So that's really, really fantastic. And then sealing the deal here on our Mega Brigadramon. This is the one that really, I think this is going to be why you're going to want to go up into a Mega. This guy really, changes the deck and makes you want to do this. When Digivolving, choose any number of your opponent's Digimon so that their play cost at total is 7 and delete them. That's wonderful. I am curious, though. Does it have to be exactly 7? Choose any number of your opponent's Digimon so that their play cost total is up to 7 and delete them. If, say, they have 2 rookies that are play cost 3 and it only adds up to 6, do you get this effect? I don't know the answer to that. If anyone's still listening and knows the answer or can point someone in the direction to answer it, I would love to know that. Opponent's turn. All of your Digimon with D-Brigade in their trait gain blocker. Yes, the deck was terrible at defense. It had the 1 blocker Commandramon 4 play cost. But now, all of our D-Brigade are blockers. It doesn't matter. So that's really cool. I love this so much because, the deck was just straight gas before and it had no defense. Now we have a little bit of defense built in, so I really, really, really like that. End of your turn, once per turn, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may play any number of cards with the D-Brigade Digipolice trait up to a total play cost of 7. Now, because it says up to, then that leads me to believe that it can be less than 7. But the way this first one reads is not, does not read like it could be any amount up to 7. Among them, without paying the cost, trash the rest. So 7 play cost worth of stuff. What I thought was really great was they thought of Cargadramon here. They made Cargadramon a 7 play cost and gave it the on play effect, so you can just continuously play stuff out. Go to Brigadramon plays out Cargadramon plays out something else. Really, really cool. I love the synergy here. Everything fits together like a nice puzzle piece. Same with the Lugomon deck that we talked about. The developers have really took their game to the next level, and everything flows so nicely in these decks. They're clearly meant to work in a certain way, and they work in that certain way so well. But at the same time, they can be flexible and they don't have to play that exact way. That exact way is really optimal. But if you can't do that optimal way, just do it another way. It's okay. It still works out. You still got to do some great stuff. You don't hit the Cargadramon. So what? You can still play up to 7 play cost worth of Commandramon if you wanted, or you could do a high Commandramon and a 3 play cost Commandramon, the options are there. They really, really plan that out really nicely. And again, it's number of cards with the D-Brigade trait. So if you want to play the option and a Commandramon, you can do that as well. Really, really solid stuff there. There is the Satsuki Tamahimi card here. It has the Digipolice trait here, so it can synergize with those cards a little bit. You can play her for free off of that stuff. Start main phase. If your opponent has a Digimon, gain 1 memory. So a little bit of a memory fixer there. Main Mind Link, so she can do the same thing, but this one's limited to Numemon or Monzemon in the name. Or Digipolice trait. So the newer Commandramon stuff will have the Digipolice trait here, but the older Commandramon stuff, I'm pretty sure does not. So she's a little bit more limited. I don't know if you want to use her or not, but she does give jamming and reboot, which is really nice. So just having jamming, on a Commandramon that you don't want to die necessarily, that's really great. And then, of course, she can just revert back into her tamer self. So I don't think she's a bad addition for the deck either, because she does work with the Digipolice. And if you're building the Commandramon deck in the mind of we're using the Brigadier Evo line here, then she'll be really great. So if you're going 4 of on all of these guys, I think she'll be a worthy include potentially. But that is going to do it, guys. I know this video was super long, but I hope you enjoyed it. If you made it this far and you're not already, I don't know how, but please subscribe to the channel and like the video. It's greatly appreciated. I've lost a lot of subscribers lately because of my lack of posting, and just getting some subscribers back would be a great morale boost.